Gold at a 3-month high is driving the conversation this Monday morning. Forex, metals, and indices are all in play, and the day's biggest mover is saved for last. Aussie dollar is trending with strong bullish structure, and the path of least resistance continues to point toward higher levels. Recent price action has sustained a series of higher lows, keeping upward momentum intact. The trend leans higher as long as that structure holds. Pound dollar carries a strong bullish trend into the week, with price action reinforcing the case for further extension toward higher levels. The momentum profile remains firmly tilted upward, and the structure has not shown meaningful deterioration. More likely than not, the move continues higher while this setup persists. Euro-New Zealand dollar is trending with strong bearish conviction, and the probable path continues to favor lower levels. The sequence of lower highs and lower lows defines the current structure, leaving the trend clearly pointed downward. Pressure is more likely to extend toward lower levels while this structure remains in place. New Zealand dollar Canada dollar holds a strong bullish trend, with the structure favoring a continued push toward higher levels. The setup reflects consistent buying pressure that has kept the trend aligned to the upside. The path of least resistance remains higher as long as the current structure holds. Pound New Zealand dollar is under strong bearish pressure, with the trend clearly oriented toward lower levels. The price structure shows successive lower highs, reinforcing the downward bias across the board. The trend leans lower, and the probable path favors further extension in that direction. The China 50 index carries a strong bearish trend heading into the session, with the structure pointing firmly toward lower levels. Momentum has remained to the downside, and the pattern of lower highs continues to reinforce that directional lean. More likely to probe lower levels while this setup holds. Euro-dollar trends bullish into Monday, with the structure supporting a continued grind toward higher levels. The setup reflects a measured but consistent upside lean, and price action has not broken the sequence of higher lows. The trend remains oriented higher while that structure holds. Dollar-yen carries a mild bearish lean into the session, with the trend tilted toward lower levels after sustained downside pressure on the dollar. The structure reflects a gradual erosion of upside momentum, and the path of least resistance continues to favor lower levels. The trend leans lower while that setup holds. Treasury market pressure continued to lift gold demand, with bullion holding near multi-month peaks as fiscal credibility concerns weighed on the dollar. Meanwhile, oil slid sharply after Washington signaled a fresh round of Iran sanctions. On the calendar today, the one to watch is Treasury Secretary Bessent speaking. Gold is the standout mover on the board, holding near 3-month highs with a strong bullish trend firmly in control. Fiscal credibility concerns and Treasury market dynamics have continued to drive demand for bullion, reinforcing the upward structure. The path of least resistance remains toward higher levels, and the trend shows no meaningful sign of exhaustion. That wraps the ForexBullion morning brief for Monday, the 24th of August. Subscribe so the next edition lands the moment it drops, and the evening wrap checks whether gold can hold those 3-month highs into the close. This is general market information for educational purposes only, not financial advice.